What's up, guys? So today we have a 2019 ZX14r on the dyno. This particular ZX14r, it is stretched roughly about 8 inches over from stock. He's still sitting on a 530 chain and sprocket kit. However, this is a Vortex steel sprocket and a steel front. He's on an EK ZVX3 chain. It's a 530 chain. It's just a better O-ring. I think these are the QX rings, if I'm not mistaken, on these. They're a little bit better, less resistance, so in theory it should make a little bit more power. He's also got a Sprint PO8 air filter on this, which is like the street version of Sprint's air filters. And he's got a full M4 stainless GP system. I haven't dynoed one, admittedly, with the full M4 system yet. So I'm very curious to see what kind of power this thing's gonna produce. I love my 14s, so we're gonna see what this thing does. He's also on a healtech quick shifter. So if anything, what we might do today with a little bit of extra time, we'll probably help dial that in just in case and get it a little bit snappier if it's not there already. Typically with these quick shifters, I love these quick shifters. Typically with these though, it's not as easy as plug and play. You can plug them in, you know, get it all situated and go ride, but more than likely you're gonna have some little issues with it, like some misshifts and things like that. It might kind of shift when you're not meaning to shift. It might have an issue where you go to barely touch it and it tries to buck a little bit. Things like that. They do need to get calibrated, but man, once they're calibrated in, these are one of my favorite quick shifters. They're pretty on point with their shift and their kill times and everything. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get this thing warmed up. We're gonna go ahead and baseline it and get some baseline numbers to see where we're starting at. And then we're gonna flash and tune the bike. And then again, we're gonna build the map up. It takes time. It's not a simple one and done kind of thing. It does take time. And as we go through all the different settings too, we're gonna keep building up that map, kind of like building a house. You gotta build your foundation, then you gotta do the walls, et cetera, et cetera. So we're gonna do the same thing with this. And as we go through the process, you'll see with the numbers, you'll see what kind of numbers we're producing. And then at the end is the fun. We get to compare the baseline and the final. So, and we'll compare all the air fuels, we'll look at the torque, the horsepower, the full nine. So you guys get a very in-depth experience as to what we're doing here. It's gonna be pretty cool. I'm really curious to see what this thing does. Like I said, I haven't done one of these yet. I'm expecting right around 200 wheel. It should be right around that, maybe a little less since we're still on a 530 and it is stretched over 8 or so inches. It looks to be about 8 to 9 inch over from stock. So we should be roughly around the 200 wheel mark, a little bit under that if anything. So, and there's Lewis. So right now what we're doing is, this is the sniffer or the wideband gauge. This is actually what gives us our air fuel ratio on the dyno. This is the reader right here. This is the sensor. Without this sensor, none of us, no tuner could do their job without this sensor right here. This is the vital sensor. Again, this is our reference point. So every time we make a change in the ECU or a power commander or your full standalone, whatever you're utilizing, anytime we make a change in that system, this is giving us the readout to see what those changes did. And again, every time we re-reference those things, the lines, the AFRs, every time we re-reference that, we make changes again, retest, and again, this is the sensor that's telling us how we're doing and what the mixture is looking like inside the engine. Got my heart no barging in from the to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up, but you can't break me out. We got this thing knocked out. It did exactly what we were hoping to do. It made 198 wheel horsepower with 117 foot-pounds of torque, and it came in with 189 wheel horsepower with 110 foot-pounds of torque. So again, it did exactly what we were hoping it was gonna do. Nice pull all the way to red line. We bumped up his rev limiter just a smidge. Again, I don't like to do those things unless you have the upgraded valve springs. Here's the stab. It was a pretty violent stab, so we have a little rich to lean little mix right here on the low RPM. But as soon as we hit 5K, smooths out just like butter. We ran it a little fat up top. Typically, I like to do that anyway. It does tend to lean out just a couple of points on the street with the ram air, and again with the heat, humidity, when that's changing, it is going to be a little bit hotter, a little bit more humid. I will say this, lately the humidity has dropped off substantially in the last few days here, so I'm very happy with these numbers. I was hoping for these numbers. I wasn't expecting these numbers. I was hoping for those numbers. So I am glad. Again, the humidity did drop off. It was like in the 60s and 70s as far as the humidity goes. We were around 66 to about 70% humidity lately. Today we're around 45 to about 55% humidity. It kind of varied throughout the day. So very happy again with these numbers. It's exactly where I wanted it to be. I'm very happy that the M4, I do like M4 in general. I am a fan of their product. I do feel like it's one of the best bang for your bucks exhaust systems out there. And he also, again, has the Sprint filter and the aftermarket chain. So that kind of helps over the stock. But again, he is stretched out about 8 inches over stock. So that is going to take away power no matter what bike you're on. If you have a stretched bike, it's going to take away a little bit of power versus a stock wheelbase bike. The further out you go, the more power you're going to lose on your dyno. So again, like some of you guys who are pretty far out, you know, let's say 12, 14 inches over stock, expect that number to drop substantially the further out you go. You have less weight over that wheel, and you also have a longer chain, so you got more weight that you got to turn now and move that the engine has to work for. So just keep that in mind, you know, as you stretch these bikes. Thank you guys. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching the channel. Thank you for supporting the channel. It is greatly appreciated. I wanted to say thank you to our special guest today, Aaron, who is the actual owner of this bike. He's helping me film today, so he's an old friend of ours of the shops. We've known him for probably, what, 7 years?
Oh, it's been like 10, 11 years.
10 years, golly, yeah, man. So anyway, this is his new bike, so we figured why not? Let's shoot a video on it today too. So it's a beautiful bike. I'm a 14 fan, I'm a Kawi fan. Actually, I'm an all bike fan. I love all bikes, but put some questions down in the comment section. Let us know what you think about the bike. Let us know what you'd like to see. We have more topics of discussion that we'd like to talk to you guys about. We're also going to release another video of shop talk, if you will, where we ask you guys, the audience, questions, and we want to see what you guys have to ask us. We are open book. We want to answer those questions for you. So again, in this video, comment down below. Let us know what you think. Tell us, fight. We don't care. Love each other. Anyway, peace out. We'll see you on another episode.